February, known for many things. Whether it's gatherings, whether it's gift exchanges, whether it's appreciation, whether it's honoring history. Well, we're going to get some history made, and there will be no kindness involved in these festivities, as everybody seeks one thing, and we will find out shortly this weekend who will get their Vengeance Day. Hello, everybody, and welcome once again to City Predicting and the start of the NXT City Predicting Predictions League here in 2024 as we kick things off with the NXT PLE cycle with NXT Vengeance Day. It will be presented, of course, on Sunday, February 4th, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 4 p.m. Pacific, of course, called by me and my color analyst. So please, if you can stop by, jump into direct live watch on events, we greatly appreciate it. Shout out, by the way, to last year's winners in the NXT League. For Team No DQ, it was I and Aaron Rip. And for the team, it was Chaz Rotz. Congratulations. Very curious to see who I add to the Wall of Fame this year, but I digress. But yes, once again, it is I, the simple man of the simple brand, the voice of the JMF for grateful professional wrestling. Damn it. And my name is Noel Foster. And with me, of course, is a wonderful panel, a very simple trio with you guys for the six-match card delight. I have Christopher Rotz. He is right now playing the role of John Cena. And the current enrollee of Chase U, even though I still don't believe in it, the Renegade Wrestling, JJ Williams. And shout out to everybody in the chat. For those that are watching live or on demand, please like, subscribe, comment, tell a fan. And if you want to dictate the conversation, donate to dictate. Super chat, as simple as that. You will also find the link to the form in the chat panel as well. Before we get things underway, let's go ahead and get everybody's initial thoughts. JJ, good to hear you. I know you're doing with a lot of stuff, but I also know that you're doing a lot better. I know you're also very looking forward to this because for those that don't know, he will tell you straight up, this is his NXT, damn it.
And I will not digress. We don't do that anymore.
No, we no longer digress. That's the new thing in 2024. We own what we claim and what we say and what we are. That being said, JJ, how you feeling about Sunday so far?
I am feeling really good, sir. You know, timing just happened to work out impeccably. Everything that I just told you about prior to us hitting live has been resolved. So you wanted me to take this picture down. I just got to say, are you sure about that, bro? Are you positive, bro? I am not a current enrollee. I am a Chase U alumni, bro. And yes, much like the savior of Chase U, one JC Jane, when I first enrolled, I was a little bit toxic as well.
Oh my gosh. Wow, that's the way to make an entrance. Well, way to represent your class with honor. Speaking of honor, this guy is always honorable in his analysis, and he participates in everything, and always appreciate him. Proud, longtime friend of City Predicting and the Nordic Galaxy, Christopher Rotz. Chris, here's the kickoff to the NXT League this year, and again, congrats to your brother on winning last year. How you feeling about Sunday, my friend, and Vengeance Day?
Well, hi everybody. I'm actually getting excited for NXT Vengeance Day premium live event on Sunday. We haven't had a Sunday PLE in God knows how long. So it's going to be something to get used to. But overall, I'm looking forward to the event. I'm going to give this like a 7 out of 10. They always deliver. It's going to be a good show, and I want to say good luck to everybody that is competing in the NXT Prediction League for 2024, and always say yeah to NoDQ.com.
And that's not an insult. That is just a fact of life. Shout out to Bossman Aaron Rip. And you all, of course, can stay tuned to his recap and review of WWE SmackDown, as I kindly wish to encourage you to remain on topic and remain hashtag spoiler free festivities. Why some people don't have Fox, some people do have the feed, but they have it West Coast time. So please consider everybody in mind. All right, guys, pretty simple intro. I want to give a shout out to the 20 people so far that have decided to enter into the NXT League, including at Limited 2, my ATW crewmates, Lex and Sienna. Good luck to both of you. No DQ team members in Con, Andrew, Walter Cruz, Steve-O, TJS, Josh Mansfield, And of course, I see Benji, Alistair, Mark Anderson, Kimberly, Bacon_Space, best name ever, Rodney, Charlene, proud longtime friends and members of the NoDQ Galaxy, and also across Matter League. So appreciate all of them getting their picks in too. All right, guys. So without further ado, let's get right into it. So yes, this is the first NXT PLE of 2024 on a Sunday night. Personally, I'm all right with that because that means I have wrestling now on 2 nights. All right, in the weekend. And I'm sure there's going to be definitely a lot to behold. I think we're in for some interesting moments. I'm also wondering if we're going to see somebody in the audience, but that's a whole different topic. Let's go ahead and kick things off with something that I'm sure is going to be balls to the walls nuts, because at the end of the day, I always preach the Creole, protect your mentality. Well, these two men are out here to test each other's mentality. And who's the most crazy? As we have Joe Gacy versus Dijak in a no disqualification match. After these two have literally battled and brawled up and down the NXT arena, including driving Gacy through the freaking stage itself, coming out with a sadistic smile like something got psycho, and he and Dijak cannot be torn apart. Even the announcer table was a victim. So, that being said, it's simply put a no disqualification match. Dijak is one of those that has constantly impressed me with his work in NXT, but he really doesn't get a win often. He's usually there to put the other guy over. And Joe Gacy's been lost in the shuffle ever since the Schism tree died a very sad death to some, maybe. Christian Inventions, though, I figure much better off. But anyway, I'm curious about this one because the no disqualification is not a title on the line. It's just pride. And sometimes pride is more valuable than a championship. It also leads to championship glory. So, JJ, what's your take on this? Last year, you and I called Dijak. He was in the opener challenging Wes Lee for the NXT North American Championship. Came this close and bowed with a broken finger. So how far is Dijak willing to go to put down Joe Gacy with his form of justice just to prove that he's the most violent?
I think a common theme for Sunday night's PLE is the fact that a lot of these can really go either way.
Yes.
You look at this match, and on the surface, you'd be like, well, Dijak has this on lock. There's no way Joe Gacy is going to survive a no DQ match against this behemoth. But there's something about Joe Gacy that's just a little bit unhinged.
Yeah.
And he's going down this new path since the Schisms tree has been chopped down to its roots. Can Joe Gacy afford a loss on this scale right now? I would say not. You know, I don't think Joe Gacy can afford a loss right now. You know, he's trying to find himself. He's trying to rebrand, repackage, you know. A defeat over Dijak would be huge in catapulting him to that.
Right.
And who knows what kind of devilish tricks Joe Gacy has up his sleeve. You know, just because the grizzled young vets are telling ABC to grit their teeth as they defeated them in match 1 of 3 last night. I did my homework.
Appreciate you.
Thanks to you and having the Impact Plus, so I was able to watch no commercials. Hey, after watching 2 weeks ago and having the end of a match get lost because of commercials, not again. But I digress on that one because that's not why we're here.
Right.
I think I'm going to go out on a limb on this one, and I'm going to pick Joe Gacy. And that sounds weird. That sounds completely out of left field, but there's something in Gacy's eyes that tell me that he is not going to stop. Dijak is going to damn near have to murder him in the ring.
Yeah.
And I don't know, as far as Dijak is willing to go, I don't know if he's willing to commit murder in the middle of the Performance Center. And that might be all that Joe Gacy needs to pick up the victory.
Fair enough. And also, they're not in the Performance Center, I believe. I think they're in Clarksville,
That's
Tennessee. I
true.
think
That's true. I
they're on the
forgot
road
that
for
they were
this.
traveling for this one. Yeah.
I appreciate the fact they are
Taking the
traveling.
last train to Clarksville.
Yeah, there you go. Also, botch. Anyway, that's all right. All right, Chris. So far, a majority are actually going with. Well, this is interesting. They're going with Dijak. It is currently 70% Dijak and 30% Joe Gacy. So with Joe Gacy, maybe more dangerous than ever, but more about direction than Dutton Castle Army of Honor. If you know, folks. Chris, what's your thoughts on this match? Do you think this is the first time Dijak gets a big win, or once again will his justice be used against him under no disqualification? And Gacy brings us back sort of into his new mindset of inclusivity.
Well, this match is kind of like intriguing because what I saw on Tuesday on NXT, they kept on brawling. They've been brawling. They've been brawling. And Dijak threw Joe Gacy off of, I don't know what you called that. Um,
Some
and
platform, which was
a,
ridiculous.
a platform, and it was like so ridiculous. And knowing later, Ava, the general manager of NXT, made this match official to be no disqualification. And Joe Gacy came out, smiled, and says, "I accept," and went back down. So this is kind of weird because I just think the Joe Gacy character reminds me of Mankind, Classic Jack kind of like character. That is how much similarities both Joe Gacy and Classic Jack are like alike and similar in both ways. So I'm seeing it right now because they're both crazy to begin with.
That's fair.
Um,
Yeah, I can kind of see that comparison. They both seem to enjoy pain for pleasure.
And they have a unique
and
mindset. It's almost like there's more than one personality in them. Continue, Chris.
and I feel like with Joe Gacy with the schism, and now Joe Gacy as whatever character this is, it's like intriguing. At the same time, it's going to be interesting match. Um, in the forum, I picked Dijak to get this win on Sunday.
Right.
I have Dijak winning Sunday to finally get that win and just to finally be able to get over that hump and go on to bigger and better things and maybe challenging for a war title or a North American championship because Dijak, he hasn't been gained much love and much wins in NXT lately. He's due for a big win, and I think Dijak gets it done on Sunday.
And currently, as we are split, I will sell it with this. I've been a long time proponent for Dijak in this NXT. I wasn't sure what they were doing with him, but seeing how much he loves and supports the people that he works with and this renewed spirit in his character and this aggressive dynamic, I do think it's about time that he gets his moment in the sun. And honestly, who's to say that these two are going to be done with each other after this? You prove that you're more crazy and you're more violent one time. Can you do it again? How many times have we seen this in great rivalries that have developed into something bigger that have been held down for generations or even building the tag teams? I think Dijak finally delivers some hard justice here, and I think Dijak will surprise us. I think Dijak's going to get the win when Joe Gacy least expects it. I can see Joe Gacy going for the upside down, that handstand springboard lariat, and Dijak knocks his teeth down his throat with that cyclone boot where I thought I was going to beat my sleep for the title. I'm going with Dijak here, and I hope I feast my eyes on Dijak with the win. But I kind of don't want to see these two double each other yet because I'll be honest, this has kind of been entertaining for me. I'm going with Dijak, though.
I mean, you guys make some valid arguments, but I look at Dijak as the guy, and forgive this corny pun here, but I feel like Dijak in NXT is always the bridesmaid, never the bride.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's just always going to be that bar that people need to try to get past to see if they're ready for the next level because of his size, his strength and his ability, but I don't ever see him becoming NXT champion, North American champion, anything like that. He's going to be that Dolph Ziggler, that measuring stick kind of down there.
Okay.
Baron Corbin too, to a certain extent, but I could also see Corbin and Braun having to run with the tag titles because the Wolf Dogs are catching so much steam down there right now. You got to strike while the iron's hot.
And also, the future's up in the air right now with Braun Breaker after his incredible performance in the Royal Rumble. And apparently, Nick Aldis has been speaking with him.
Yes.
But again, we'll see if that pen to paper comes to fruition as Andrade was officially signed to Monday Night Raw. And please go check out For the Love of Wrestling. It's Wrestling Time, the No DQ reviews for Raw and, of course, SmackDown this week and all the shows this week when it comes
all
to
the shows, all the shows,
professional wrestling and sports entertainment. All right. So if you're not already, check out For the Love of Wrestling and check out the Tillich channel where it's Wrestling Time and check out Aaron Briss No DQ reviews and recaps. And, of course, the No DQ review this Sunday. If you all want to double feature yourselves, as we call NXT Vengeance Day, the No DQ review, of course, will be also, I believe, Sunday night as well. So check out Version of Mario. Check out me and JJ bringing NXT. Have a fun Sunday night. All right.
Because much like me and Joe Hendry, the No DQ channel does not believe in my NXT.
Okay. First off, I said, first off, I believe in Joe Hendry. Secondly, he said his name, so I made him appear. And third, blasphemy, no DQ, because even I can say that this NXT is far better than what it used to be. Why do you think I'm calling this stuff with more excitement than ever? Last year was a one-match show. I have 5 out of 6 this time. Congratulations. Except mostly for this one, where I'm going to be friendly here, but just level with me here. Just level with me for a quick second, all right? You're leveling with me here? Okay, good. Just level with me. Seriously, why is this not a one-on-one with the two people that actually matter here versus the Wish.com, GTA, Castaways, and the family on a different day? Seriously. Okay, it's a 6-person mix, 6-person debacle. Let's call it that. Basically, for those that don't know, this is the D'Angelo family. Tony D'Angelo and Shannon Stacks, our current NXT Tag Team Champions, alongside, I believe, the accountant, Adriana Rizzo, taking on, let me see if I get these names right, Bronco Nima, Lucian Price, and the one person that matters here on the other side, Jada Parker. And this all comes down to the fact that Jada Parker and Adriana Rizzo have had fallouts, including some rough ups here. And apparently the family doesn't take disrespect. And instead of whacking the DTA rechecks off their lowrider bicycle, we have this 6-person debacle. All right. The most important thing at the end of the day of this match is this. Adriana Rizzo and Jada Parker, this is their first NXT PLE in-ring debut. Now, that being said, respect women's wrestling. The rest, meh. But at the end of the day, in a battle of respect and just finding an identity, I look at both sides and I'm like, which side is stronger here? Why does this other side exist? And this one for me is like, insert Tim Allen sound effect here from Home Improvement. I'm just going with the fact that I'm Italian. I want to see the family get the just due against the adversaries. Don't ever mess with the family. I'm going with D'Angelo and crew here. I don't have much more to say. JJ, what's your thoughts on this?
Okay, so realistically, this match should probably be the D'Angelo family versus Out the Mud for the tag titles. If we're being legitimate here. I think Shawn Michaels wants to test Jada Parker and Adriana Rizzo, see what they can bring to the dance, see if they're going to be good enough to carry a singles program or have legitimate matches down the road, much like they did with Ava Raine last year at Stand and Deliver. Yeah. So they're being thrown into this match, making it a 6-man, kind of giving them a testing ground. I think OTM and the D'Angelo family are going to do the majority of the action. The girls will get their shine opportunity, and based on how they come off in that opportunity will determine what happens for them going forward. if they remain in managerial positions only, or if they become more active competitors.
Mm-hmm.
I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what Rizzo and Parker can do.
Same.
But for me, the story is OTM and the D'Angelo family. And as much as I hate to say this, I think OTM is going to get the victory here, possibly setting up a legitimate title match come Stand and Deliver. We beat you in the 6-man action. Give us our proper title shot. I know I like the family, but if we're being real, with the exception of that hiccup last year where my boys from Chase U took the titles for like 2 weeks, the family's had a stranglehold on them since Stand and Deliver last year, or shortly thereafter.
It was
The better part of a year, they've had their hands on those belts. It's time
yeah.
to pass them on. So I see OTM getting the victory here and then getting a legitimate title rematch come Stand and Deliver.
Well, there's one thing I will say your NXT does need to work on. It is actually building realistic tag team adversaries for the tag team championships. I think that's the one thing this NXT environment is depleted upon or trying to rebuild. And I think the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic might have more to add to it. And that's why I'm going with the family here, because I think there is a stronger challenger and there is a new challenger waiting for them. And I don't think it's something that literally is supposed to be out of the mud. Out of the mud? What the hell? You should be buried in the desert with the ET video game. Oh, wait, that wasn't covered too. Damn it. Anyway, it's one of those things right now where I think the family, to Emmanuel's point, yeah, maybe they lost a bit of that, a bit of that flavor, a bit of that pop and circumstance, a bit of that support. But at the end of the day, you buy into the chase. You don't so much follow them being chased. I think you do fall off that path. And I think for the family, it has been like that. Why? I want to see what Brizzle's capable of, okay? I want to see what she's capable of because I think that she does have potential. But that being said, I can't take a team called OTM seriously. I can't. So I'm just out of personal bias. Just gonna say the family because you don't ever mess with the family. And then they could put them in the back of a car and send them off to their own way. Arrivederci. I'm going with the D'Angelo family here.
Why can't you take a team called Out the Mud OTM seriously?
Because out the
I'm just curious here. I'm not trying to
no.
get too riled up or
I
start
get that.
anything.
When I buy into or invest into something in this industry, you gotta give me something believable. And why David Finlay is the savage, the rebel savior, and Bullet Club War Dogs are a bunch of people that should be spayed or neutered. Out of the Mud just feels like something to me that was like, okay, we just digged this up with a shovel and then we made it into a pile, and then the pile became something we hope that will be worth something down the line. And the Titantron, I mean, their Titantron makes them look like GTA Vice City castaways. I mean, if you're going to give this team a name, call them the Outliers or something. Hell, the Outriders and Ring of Honor got more stock in them than these two men. And one of these guys was known for nothing but flips all the time. May I remind you that Scripps is Reggie, former 24/7 champion. I can't, okay? It just doesn't add up to me. Why would you have something cosplaying one of the greatest video game franchises of all time, such a generic, cheap-ass principal name in delivery? No. One of these things that doesn't belong here, and lowrider bicycles have not been cooled since freaking Homicide or Hernandez, whatever the last damn team in WWE did it. So that's my thing. Anyway, I'm going with the family. And Chris, majority are actually going with the family. It is 2-1 in favor of the family. Where do you stand?
Well, this is going to be an interesting 6-person tag match. OTM, the family. It's going to be nice because the OTM, they already made their debuts on a PLE. Jada Parker and Ariana Rizzo. It sounds like her last name is Riz, like you're rizzing somebody up.
Thank you, Wesley.
But personally, this is going to be interesting because the family, And this whole entire story, it's intriguing to me because I am a fan of the family and I also like OTM. They're doing a good job. Um, on the forum, I picked OTM for the win.
Oh,
And
totally.
here's why I think OTM needs to win this is because I feel they are going to have another shot at the tag team title opportunity again. And I see it maybe happening on a TV special, maybe if they're going to do NXT Roadblock, something like that for like the month of maybe for February or heading into March
I
on the
can see
road
that
to
being a TV
WrestleMania.
special, actually, now that you put that out there.
And you need something to happen before we get to Stand and Deliver. So I see OTM winning this, and I see OTM facing the family for the NXT Tag Team Championships at NXT Roadblock. But the family, they're going to definitely win and keep the championships and go on defend those championships at Stand and Deliver. And I actually see them dropping the NXT Tag Team Championships on Stand and Deliver when we get to the other tag team match later on in our broadcast.
All right. I get it. Filler. That's really what something I feel like out of the mud is. It's filler. It's like how you fill a hole in the golf course, the divot. You fill it with dirt. So it's like, I get it. But at the end of the day, this to me really comes down to why is this not on the pre-show? Because to your point, it's Jada and Rizzo's in-ring debut. It's to protect them. I get it. But something about this OTM group and presentation just doesn't doesn't put my money into it. It doesn't. So we'll see. Maybe if you guys are right, you're upset, I'll give them some sort of respect and some sort of belief value. But besides that, nah, they won't even be in my bargain bin, and I'll friggin' play GTA 3 over this. So
No, I get you. I get you. There's certain characters and gimmicks that you just don't get behind,
no,
whatever the reason is.
yeah. Well,
You
I mean,
know.
heck, Scripps tried to
So
be a Wish.com Serpentico. I'm just saying.
so
So
I get that. I get your resistance to getting behind them, but at the same time, I just it comes down to the fact that the D'Angelo family is getting stale, and we need something. Are they the band-aid to fix the problem? Probably not. But
eh,
are they a means to an end? Possibly. They can start the family on that downward spike.
that's a fair take. And at some point, you gotta use utility, you gotta use filler to push something forward, but also build towards something bigger. So again, I do understand what you mean. All right, very fair analysis all around. Emmanuel. All right, I don't know how much I agree with this because at the end of the day, John Cena is John Cena, but John Cena also did what he did for WWE for the last decade.
Right, but at the end of the day, no matter how you slice him, Emmanuel just can't get behind him. And Chris
Yes,
has his
Chris.
hand up.
I see it.
You know how many times we've been saying something, just like Jake something at TNA?
What's his name? Well, first off, we're not talking about TNA. That'll be for No Surrender, but good segue for a plug later. And Wesley, no, not yet. I don't see that yet. I'll just say
Well,
that.
we'll answer those type of questions when they come with the super chat, Wesley.
Yeah, if you
Thanks for
want
playing.
more, again, it's like a tease. You want the simple yes or no, I give Magic 8 Ball and give you an answer, but you want more of a taste of our input, super chat. It's as simple as that. Again, I'm not monetized. That's on the road, a goal, I guess, and we'll see if it happens. I'm willing to do the work. I'm willing to do the work, but y'all got to do your fair share. Anyway, let's go ahead and continue down this card and talk about this guy that came into the landscape. Good grief almighty. NXT North American Championship on the line as, apologies if I screwed this name up, Olafemi, the breakout tourney winner, surprised the hell out of us, and took the best of Dragon Lee when he was vulnerable, which is what you're supposed to do. After Dragon Lee was able to, of course, defend his title successfully and just got thrown out of nowhere, he has asked for his rematch, or excuse me, demanded for it. And after a little bit of thinking, Oba has decided and agreed upon it. So it's one of those things where before this, Dragon Lee was facing Lexus King, those who remember him as Brian Pillman Jr. Good match. And Dragon Lee, he was dead to rights. So what did Oba do? He used his contract like money in the bank, cashed in. Damian Priest learned something. And he actually succeeded and became the NXT North American champion. Since then, this force has remained unopposed, including during the breakout tournament that you followed verbatim, JJ. So that being said, Dragon Lee's been juggled between SmackDown and NXT, particularly. I mean, I'm still shocked he won the daggum North American Championship to begin with against Dirty Dominic Mysterio. But Obafemi now, he's the newest guy on the NXT scene, and he's a force to be reckoned with. So what's your thoughts about this North American Championship match? Do you see Dragon Lee winning it back?
No. Plain and simple, no. I feel like Dragon Lee deserves his rematch. He's getting it here, and then he'll be back on SmackDown. Just like he should be.
Yeah, Latino.
It's not going to be a squash match like Emmanuel thinks here.
Nah.
But it's gonna be a good match. Obafemi is just one of those dominators. I've said it 100 times. Well, maybe not 100, but he reminds me of Big E Langston when Big E was first coming in and he was running with like Dolph Ziggler and AJ Lee. Just that big, muscular, imposing force.
The Blue Thunder.
Before the bootios, before the pancakes, before the unicorns and all that stuff. Back when Big E would just stand there next to Dolph with his arms crossed and be like, I do not want to bump into this guy. I do not accidentally want to step on his shoes. He is going to twist me into a pretzel.
Accurate.
That is Obafemi.
Again, newest guy on the scene, folks. There's not much more to say besides that, but I think that's a pretty fair analysis. You want to know more about him? See what he did to Chase U student in the finals of the tournament.
Yeah.
Yeesh.
Hey, Riley Osborne put up a hell of a fight, though. We all
that.
thought it was going to be a squash. And Riley, represented my alma mater proudly. But yes, officially, Obafemi is taking this, and I don't think anybody in the room here is going to dispute that.
Chris?
I'm keeping this short and sweet. I got Obafemi to retain the NXT North American Championship, and Dragon Lee is going to head back to the main roster.
There you go. Short, sweet, simple, to the point. Probably the easiest match of the night to call, but Dragon Lee is sure to give us a performance. I guess a few people believe Dragon Lee might get it back because 14% picked Dragon Lee, 85% picked Obafemi. So there you go. This is truly the exhibition match of the night because, to your point, you said most matches could go either way. I think it's safe to say this is the one match that's going to go one way.
Yeah.
Just saying. And by the way, I'm just going to say this politely in not anger, but just in my stance. I'll commit myself like this. I would sooner stand only in tank top and pajamas and do the Macarena than believe in Chase University. Anyway, let's go ahead and freaking continue down this card, shall we? Don't get
Chase U is an established university, damn it.
It is not. It doesn't even have the freaking accreditation or the funds behind it, to the point that Jesse Jane is trying to sell a bikini calendar. I said what I said.
They're going to have the funds for Chase U to get Chase U back up and running.
No,
and listen,
no one.
All the money that the calendars bring in, all the fans are going to be getting a calendar on Sunday when they arrive to the event. So all that money is going to Chase U to get Chase U back up and running. So that is Chase U. JJ, put Chase U up.
No, People are homeschooled.
Chase U is more successful than the Undisputed Kingdom.
Oh my gosh.
How dare you?
One is in a wheelchair and one might be after Wednesday night.
I'm just gonna
What?
move on.
What? You ain't got nothing to say to that, Noah.
I hate, I hate, I hate, I hate, I hate this place so much. Fucking cheap, freaking less than GED qualification. And I work at a college. I work for a $1 billion enterprise, damn it.
Just wait till Chase U and Alpha Academy end up merging.
No.
No, thank you, Walter. That's
No thank
so...
you or no thank you.
Okay, first off, no, just no. Secondly, Walter, that's a sad state of affairs that you're actually very accurate about. People freaking need to get some damn sunlight. Okay, before I go into another rant mode, I'm going to go ahead and try and cool down and let Braun Breaker spare everybody. Because let's go ahead and talk about the other tag team I think that's actually going to face the family. Let's talk about this. Oh, whoops. I do like the red and blue, though.
Botch.
If you will. Not botched. It's just the graphic. I'm going to say this right now. This match should stick out from the rest as far as graphic because of what it's about. That's all I got to say. But kudos to Jeff adding at least the start. It is the NXT Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic Finals as Braun Breaker and Baron Corbin take on Trick Mello Game, Carmelo Hayes, and Trick Williams. As we know, these two decided to throw their names in the hat to create history here. Hayes and Williams took down Idris Olave and Malik Blade and the LWO to earn their spot. Why, out of just circumstance, Braun Breaker and Baron Corbin, they basically came together, finally came up with a name, and they beat Gallus, damn it, and they beat Axiom and Nathan Frazier. So it all comes down to this. What team will add their name to the trophy alongside MSK, alongside the Undisputed Era, alongside the Offers of Pain, and so many other great tag teams before them? And let's not forget, this is only Act 1 of Mello's game, Double Duty for the Night. Now, I'm just going to say this real quick. In the past, I'm pretty sure Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic winners got a NXT Tag Team Championship opportunity. And why I don't think necessarily that tag team will stand and deliver, I think they will be a much more worthy challenger than something caught out of the mud. JJ, this right here goes along with always what you live by. Long-term storytelling. Here you got night-long storytelling. We have no idea when this match is going to be. I think the sensible thing would be you kick off with this because no matter what the result, it's going to affect Trip Mello's mindset. So where do you stand on who wins this year's Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic?
As much as I hate to bet against them because I love them, Braun Breaker and Baron Corbin are taking this.
Oh, wow.
They have been positioned to take this from the minute they came together. There really is nobody that should be able to beat those two. They are unstoppable. You know, it's just great booking to have them together. You know, you've got the superstar on the rise and the experienced vet. These teams work. It may have been a shitty incarnation of it, but there's a reason why Animal and Heidenreich worked for a while.
God, yeah, that's true.
You know, they could have done it without calling them the Legion of Doom and having Heidenreich paint his face, but there's a reason why they worked for a while. The vet and the up-and-comer. We know Braun is probably main roster bound. If not buy, stand, and deliver, then whenever they do the draft shortly after.
I agree.
Especially after his performance in the Rumble.
God, his speed.
But he still needs a little bit more seasoning. And I think that's what this unit with Corbin is. First, we saw him run as a main event babyface. Then we saw him run as a main event heel.
Yes.
Now we're seeing him work in a tag team environment. And once this has run its course, whether it's Battleground or whatever they do after that, it'll be time for Braun to move up to the main roster. I love Trick Mellow game, but we need to put an end to the Who Attacked Trick storyline. We need to get that resolution. If it was Mellow, it needs to be exposed here. Trick Mellow lose, that causes further dissension. And then I'll go ahead and give my spoiler now. Mellow costs Trick the title against Ilya Dragunov.
Ooh.
And Ilya retains as a result. And that's how we finally get the big reveal about Mellow leading into Stand and Deliver Trick versus Mellow.
I think you literally just set up Camilla Hayes' Vengeance Day.
And if we get Roadblock in March, as Chris alluded to earlier, Ilya versus Mellow versus Trick at the TV show.
Chris, it is 3-1 in favor of Braun Breaker and Baron Corbin. Do you agree with JJ's assessment here?
Well, I'm keeping it short and sweet. This is gonna open up the show on Sunday.
I think it should.
And I think this is gonna be the opener, and Trick is gonna be in the main event. This is actually the match I'm actually looking forward to on Sunday. Is this Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic final match, and I'm glad they brought Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic tournament back to NXT for the men. I'm hoping they do the women's also, and possibly get a future WWE Women's Tag Team Championship opportunity, but I don't know if they are going to go that route. But either way, they need to have a women's tag team classic tournament for Dusty Rhodes for NXT. I'm keeping it short and sweet. It's going to be a good match with these teams. I got Baron Corbin and Braun Breaker on Sunday. And it's going to be nice to see Baron Corbin finally get over that hump and finally get some gold on Baron Corbin. When was the last time Baron Corbin won a championship in WWE? It was a while. It's time for Baron Corbin to be a champion and facing teaming with Braun Breaker to go after the NXT Tag Team Championships and possibly win them. I see Braun Breaker and Baron Corbin being the NXT Tag Team Champions at Stand and Deliver, capturing those championships and have like a nice run before Braun Breaker goes to the main roster. Or I'm thinking maybe Braun and Baron Corbin win. They might want to go up to the main roster and challenge for the undisputed WWE Tag Team Champions. But I don't see it happening that route. I see them winning the NXT Tag Team Championships at Stand and Deliver to give Baron Corbin that celebration on winning a championship in WWE. So I got Baron Corbin, Braun Breaker, Trick Mellow Gang. It's going to be a long night for both of them. And I have a question to ask you guys. Which gang do you like the best? Trick Mellow Gang or the Bang Bang Scissor Gang?
Do I need to answer that?
Yes.
The silence speaks volumes. Damn it. I'm just gonna say this real quick before I give it to JJ, because I just know he's just speaking right now, and I already know his answer probably.
I abstain. I like both of them, damn it. Bang Bang Scissor Gang is one of the things I look forward to every Wednesday night.
and the car blade freaking ejected. Now comes juice board, and I'm like, what the hell? It certainly is a whole different dynamic where you have two of the most wild gimmicks possible in AEW together, both trios champions, and then you have two of the hottest rising stars of this NXT with what feels like a long-term friendship longer than Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa that led my era of NXT. And I look at, going back to reality, I look at Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams and I think the same thing. I do think that Carmelo Hayes will get something at Vengeance Day, but I just don't know how they execute it. And I think it comes down to when this match happens, because if they lose, that's going to be on Trick Williams' mind the entire night. Does Carmelo Hayes continue to be there and support him, motivate him? Does he act like he leaves him and says that if you need to do this on your own, then do it? How much does that respect go? How much does that support, that belief go? And then I look at the other side, Braun Breaker, he's got to be bound to the main roster. So to give him and Baron Corbin, yes, the moment, but then the tag team championship match, potential tag team championships, there's a little bit more of that cross-section that I'm like, this is part of the confusion of WWE's environment. So at first, I was thinking it was going to be Trick Mello game because I just think that the win adds more to the suspension of disbelief in your long-term storytelling of who attacked Trick. And maybe we don't get the answer at Vengeance Day. And with you throwing in Roadblock, which I didn't think about at all, I figured Roadblock now could be the launching pad to when he said, I did it. Boom. Stand, deliver, bill begins. But now you got me thinking a whole different way, because you're right. Baron Corbin has not had an accolade since the freaking United States Championship. How's that for something? So it's one of those things where I look at Baron Corbin, who burns ships down, reset in NXT, already had a chance at the NXT Championship, and now he's the one that decided to try and do this with Braun Breaker. So maybe you're right. Maybe it's like a mental role thing. I think you guys have influenced my judgment for now. And again, predictions will be made official 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time Sunday night. But I know there's nothing else regarding NXT unless something happens on SmackDown. I think you got a fair argument that Baron and Braun should win this. Braun leading JJ's NXT and Baron guiding Braun before he goes up to the main roster. And maybe that's when we have the follow, because I do think Braun's going to spear Baron Corbin before he leaves NXT. I'm just going to say that right now, because at the end of the day, Baron Corbin doesn't work well with nobody, period. But I think, at least for now, with the common goal in mind and a bigger story to play out with Trick Mello gained at Stand and Deliver, I think you guys are fair and right. I think I am going to go with Braun Breaker and Baron Corbin here. And I do agree with what I saw earlier, because 4 resets in the women's tag division, no one still gives a flying yin-yang, and the blueberry and cherry straps still don't matter. But I will say DIY gave a strong effort against Judgment Day, but you really don't have much more in that tag team division.
We do have something in that tag team division, because we are going to have brand new tag team champions at the Elimination Chamber, and they are the Awesome Truth.
Oh my God.
I see Awesome Truth winning the tag team champions at WrestleMania, not the Chamber.
Nah, they're gonna get them before the Chamber.
Well, you got book someone for the Chamber, because Nia Jackson, Rhea Ripley, that'll put butts in seats. But yeah, and I will say this: it's not like the Miz doesn't deserve it, and R-Truth, he's a constant. I don't think Awesome Truth ever were tag champs either, so it would be a first. So. Manuel, I don't know if that's necessarily accurate, but that's a whole different.
That is accurate.
Trick getting more over than Scissor Me Daddy. Whoop that Trip versus Scissor Me Daddy ass. Which shirt sells more? Just saying.
I'm just saying, dude. Freaking 10,000, 1,500, whatever, 15,000, whatever it was last week on SmackDown, chanting "Whoop that Trick" when he came out.
Okay, fair enough. All right. Well, let's go ahead and move on. Now we talk about the first half of this story. I think we'll talk about another story. You talked about who might be main roster bound. Let's talk about someone else that I think is more over main roster bound, because if you ask me, this might be her last chance, maybe her last stand. I've seen it with Athena. I've seen it with Bayley. It would not surprise me after what she's done in NXT. Roxanne follows suit because she has that much promise. As the Prodigy goes once again after the NXT Women's Championship, as actually this looks better. There we go. as Lyra Valkyria defends the goal against Roxanne Perez with a whole new attitude, saying that nothing will stop her, for she is unbreakable. She's not the happy-go-lucky girl that was so happy to be here, that's here for everybody and to do everything right. She's here now for, well, what Booker T taught her, checks and championships, and she will stop at nothing to get back to the top. Ever since that loss to Kiana James in that steel cage at No Mercy, there's been a whole new different demeanor of Roxanne Perez. And of course, she earned this opportunity after not taking some anger management classes against Ariana Grace in the ring. I love that, by the way. Winning a battle royal that turned to a fatal four-way number one contendership. And here we stand. So at the end of the day, while Lara Valkyria, who's worked so hard her entire life for this, got the torch from Becky Lynch herself, has been a fine champion, already put away Xia Li and Blair Davenport. I think Lyra's run is just starting. I think this is Roxanne's swan song, if I'm being perfectly honest. 2 Royal Rumble appearances, and she's got all the potential in the world. She's done everything possible in NXT. With this new character dynamic, though, and maybe, this is just me spitballing here, maybe she's playing the role that Cora Jade was originally going to be in. Because let's not forget, Cora Jade, kayfabe, her best friend, and she's out with an ACL for the next 9 months. And what did Cora Jade do when she came back? Assaulted the champ from behind. Tell me that Roxanne Perez doesn't have the same demeanor as Cora Jade right now. I'm just saying. JJ, your thoughts on this NXT Women's Championship match? Is this Roxanne's last stand in your NXT, or does she show us that she's unbreakable and somehow surprises us and seizes the title?
You know, it's interesting that you mentioned that because I didn't even think about that.
Mm-hmm.
All the rumors that I had heard were that Cora was supposed to win that battle royal, but she got injured and she wasn't able to compete.
Daggum leg injuries, man. Daggum.
And Roxy ended up winning that. So I think Roxy is going to have to hang around in NXT just a little bit longer until Cora comes back. So I'm starting to wonder if Emmanuel's got a point here and Roxy ends up turning full-blown heel.
We're seeing the teases. I'm just saying. She's a bit more unhinged and hungry.
I don't know if I want Roxy to turn heel. You know, I didn't really know her career prior to WWE. I don't know if she ever really worked heel in Ring of Honor or whatever.
No.
But I kind of wanted Roxy to be like the Ricky Steamboat, you know, the never turns heel. Always keeps that good guy morals. But the way they're building her definitely reminds me of what they were doing with Cora Jade. So I would not be surprised to see her win, or not, excuse me, not to win, but to turn heel. Lyra is still going to win.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, are you indicating that maybe
But
this goes further with a disqualification?
Lyra's going to win, and I think Roxy's going to snap. And again, I don't want to see that happen, but I don't think they really have a choice because after the performance she gave in the Royal Rumble, I wouldn't be surprised to see Tiffy time on one of the main rosters within the next couple of weeks.
Same.
And Tiffy has been arguably the heel of NXT.
Yeah.
So Cora's injured, and if Tiffy goes up, somebody has to fill that void.
And Blair Davenport's already had how many shots? And
yeah, I like Blair, but Blair doesn't have the marketability that Roxy does.
Correct.
That's just a fact.
Well, at the end of the day, what's WWE defined more by? Branding, 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 and marketing. Damn it.
Well, at the end of the day, they are still a business. We can watch it because we love it.
Mm-hmm.
But the bottom line is making money. Who's going to sell tickets, Blair Davenport or Roxanne Perez? Roxanne Perez.
The prodigy rises to promise, but does the prodigy fall to dark intentions to seize the championship? Just saying.
So, Lyra retains, and I think Emmanuel's got a point. Roxy turns heel.
because Cora Jade is out on injury for 9 months. And by the way, to those that are facing an injury, such as the case with Cora Jade, Kylan King, step up in the air, but I wonder if he's even going to be around post WrestleMania. Please, ladies and gentlemen, take care of yourselves. And to those that are out, get well soon. All right. Well, Chris, majority are going with Lyra to retain, but it is not unanimous. So I do think people might see Roxy go that approach, and maybe she can accomplish something with it. Again, Roxanne Perez, last year she came in as the happy champion in triple threat against Toxic Attraction, Gigi Dolan, and Jesse Jane. And she won that. Shortly after, she faced Megasa Demora, collapsed, has not had the championship since after she tried to get it back at NXT Stand and Deliver last year in the ladder match. And since then, she's kind of been just battling herself more than others. Why she did go over personal disputes against Kiana James and Blair Davenport, it was Kiana James that really, it was the last straw for Roxanne as far as being pushed over or maybe looked over. And since she's adopted this new attitude, it's paid dividends. She's now back in the spotlight, going after the NXT Women's Championship. But again, is her attitude getting the better of her judgment, and could it cost her here versus benefit her? Or does this go out further? Maybe she stands and delivers before she bids NXT farewell originally. And since Cara Jade's out, like JJ said, maybe she's around for the long run. She becomes the new mean girl of NXT. Chris, what's your thoughts?
My thoughts is this is going to be kind of interesting. And personally, I feel bad for Mike or Cora Jade.
Oh,
hey, I'm a huge Cora Jade
Everything
fan,
okay?
and personally, I know Cora and Braun Breaker broken up. I could have a better chance on dating Cora Jade one day.
This is not Love Connection. This is not the Newlywed Game. This is not freaking Next from the mature channel, whatever the fuck it used to be. Focus on wrestling.
Well, yeah, I feel bad for Cora. She's going to be out. But when Cora does get back from injury, she will be champion. No doubt in my mind.
I could see that.
As far as this match goes, it's kind of interesting because they've been teasing Roxanne Perez turning heel. I do see that happening, but I think this is Roxanne Perez
Think about that.
final hurrah, final chance at gaining the NXT Women's Championship before going up to the main roster. She's been in 2 Rumble matches, and I think Roxanne Perez going to the main roster, it's going to be a good thing for her. And if she, I don't know if Sean wants to have her stay down in NXT for a while after Vengeance Day, then heading into WrestleMania weekend. But I think it's time for Roxanne Perez to get on the main roster, shine on bigger stages, to get more popularity into her name. So I think Lyra Valkyria is going to retain, and I just don't see anyone like credibility going and facing Lyra Valkyria for the NXT Women's Championship during WrestleMania weekend, because I don't see Nakia Lyons facing her. I don't see Blair Davenport. I don't see Tiffany Stratton. I don't see Tatum Paxley. That, if they do Tatum versus Lyra Valkyria, that is not an NXT Stand Deliver match.
At least not yet.
I just, that won't go over with me at all. It will not be a good match. You have to bring someone down from the main roster to challenge for that NXT Women's Championship. And let's go back to what happened last year with the whole entire Grayson Waller thing. Great, you brought Johnny Gargano down from the main roster back to NXT to have a match with Grayson Waller at Stand Deliver. It's going to be that type of feel on who is going to take on Lyra Valkyria. And I feel who makes the more sense of facing Lyra Valkyria is possibly Natalia. I think Natalia would have a good shot, or maybe you call this woman up if she's ready. We didn't see her in the Women's Royal Rumble match last Saturday. What about we see Live Valkyria versus a returning AJ Lee at
Still holding out for that.
Stand and Deliver? But I could possibly see AJ Lee or maybe Natalia facing Live Valkyria for that NXT Women's Championship at Stand and Deliver.
Well, I understand where you're coming from as far as what they did last year, but it's a different environment, I think, at this NXT than it was last year. And to Walter's point, they truly are trying to fine tune. It's not like just pushing bodies up just because, like past traditions go. And Daniel, I do think, honestly, they probably want to do that. And it wouldn't surprise me if that does become a thing because two mean girls of NXT endorsed by CM Punk just seems like it writes itself in WWE. But that being said, and again, JJ, we talk about the band, they've been treated like Dars of CM Punk. But that being said, as far as this goes, yeah, there was a name that you brought up that I didn't think about at all. And this throws me back to Mickie James and Trish Stratus vibes. Tatum Paxley has had a very weird affliction with Lyra Valkyria to the point she thought she was doing stuff on behalf of her to please her, maybe protect her NXT Women's Championship. Let's not forget, during the contract signing, Tatum planted Roxanne for the table. The following week, Roxanne beat Tatum one-on-one. And we've already seen them jaw-jack each other, and so far, Lyra doesn't know what to make of Tatum at all. At this point, I think she wants to distance her. So will Tatum come into play if Roxanne gets too far online and tries to resort to underhanded tactics, if Roxanne finally goes heel? And is that how you maybe build into Tatum Paxley and Lyra somehow versus maybe Roxanne and somebody else in the filler tag feud? But I do think the approach right now might be Tatum Paxley versus Lyra Valkyria towards Stand Deliver. And with the right storytelling, it very well could be something. And there's one thing I've learned in this business: don't assume. And also this last year, don't write off anybody until you actually see what the process brings you out. You may not trust the system, but I actually do trust the process. So that being said, I could see Tatum Paxley clearly being the next challenger or somebody to challenge down the line. But I do think Lyra, regardless, is retaining, and Roxanne will finally go heel because she says she's unbreakable. Losing this match and not winning the title, that will break her, I guarantee you. So there you go. And again, JJ, I mean, come on now. Does this not sound too damn good or what?
It does. I could see something like that happening. I think we just need to let go of the AJ Lee dream.
Seriously, bro.
I wanted her to come back in the Rumble too. Having her randomly come back for Stand and Deliver out of nowhere with no storyline context just makes no sense.
Ding.
Tatum Paxley versus Lyra at Stand and Deliver at least would make sense because they've got 2 months to build the story up.
They've already been building it off the last month and a half that she's been almost looming over her like a raven. Wolf the Raven, nevermore. So it's weird right now. You know, it's a weird dynamic. And as far as Roxanne, let's see what happens when she's finally broken. Not as broken as Matt Hardy was back in TNA. And if you know, you know. But we'll see. All right. Well, again, interesting stories to develop. And will there be a roadblock on the road to WrestleMania for NXT? That remains to be seen. And also, who will get their Vengeance Day come Sunday? That is the real story of this show. And it very well might come out of this match. We talk about all the time. He's a movie guy. I'm not. But movies have teasers. Then they have trailers. And then they give you the feature presentation. Is this our trailer towards the feature presentation that will Stand and Deliver? Or are we going to whoop that trick and see Azar fall? Here we go, folks. It's time to talk about the main event, and this should be the main event, damn it, as it's for the NXT Championship. Ilya Dragunov versus Trick Williams. Now, originally, this was supposed to be on New Year's Evil, and I was supposed to call this shit. Damn it. But unfortunately, thanks to Ridge Holland and an injury spot that happened, and W Medical not clearing Ilya Dragunov, that was not going to be the case. After Trick Williams, with the comeback of the century, better than anything you can see in the NBA, pinning an entire field in less than 3 minutes, being the Iron Survivor last year at deadline, he earned a shot. But his shot was delayed. What did he do in the meantime? Trick Mellow Game was on full display. They entered the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic and made it to the finals. But on the road, Ilya came back and said that you deserve this match on the biggest stage possible. So he has officially offered this match to Trick at Vengeance Day, which Trick accepted willingly. Although there's been a lot of misconstrued Jesse Ventura conspiracy theories regarding Trick, who truly is leading you the right way. Is it yourself, or are you being led blindly by Carmelo Hayes? Do you trust your own judgment? Are you fully focused? You talked about the outcome earlier in the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic Finals, gentlemen in chat. Again, whoop that Trick is going to be yelled throughout the night, even after that match, if Trick Mellow Game loses. But here, what is the end scene? Is it Trick Williams broken? Is it Trick Williams betrayed? Is it Ilya defeated? Does Ilya simply retain? Do we further tease the conclusion to Trick Mellow Game? How do we end NXT Vengeance Day? And will someone get their vengeance? Or revenge? Or something else that we don't know? JJ, you subtly teased it. Now deliver it. How does Vengeance Day end regarding the NXT Championship? Do you whoop that Trick?
I love Trick. Trick is the epitome of needing to strike while the iron's hot.
Period.
But we need to get through this thing with him and Mello. The Czar reigns supreme. Period.
All right. Well, let's see here. Well, definitely some people are with you when it comes to hitting the iron when the iron's hot and whooping that Trick, because it is not unanimous again. 72% went with either Dragunov, but the remaining 27, they went with Trick Williams. Chris, Trick Williams, he was the guy that broke out last year, earning the respect of either Dragunov at Heatwave last year, challenging him in a one-on-one exhibition and hanging with one of the best. And as we saw at No Mercy, it was Carmelo Hayes that Kim missed. And Ilya dropped off Russia on him with that final shot from the top. I later rewatched that, by the way, in our call earlier today. So at the end of the day, Chris, what does Trick show us here? Before you get your retort, shout out to Emmanuel for 9 months, and we will definitely talk more about that after this match. Thank you for that. Chris, where do you stand regarding the NXT Championship and Trick Williams' Vengeance Day? Does he end 0-2? But is Trick Mellow Game still in play?
Well, I was torn about this match all week. I was like going back and forth and figuring out what would be the best scenario to end Vengeance Day on Sunday. And I kind of been saying my heart wants Trick. My mind is saying Ilya. I'm on the forum and I'm going to maybe stick to it, but I have until 7:30 on Sunday to make everything finalized.
Correct. As everybody does.
As of right now, I'm going to agree with JJ. I got Ilya Dragunov to retain the NXT Championship, and here's why. I believe that I think Carmelo Hayes is going to get pinned in the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic Finals.
Oh, Carmelo gets pinned, not Trick. Okay.
I have a gut feeling Carmelo's going to get pinned, and then they're going to have a segment, possibly backstage, and some short and Carmelo's going to get all upset with Trick and says, hey, I got pinned. What happened? You had your mind focused on the NXT Championship instead of the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic. I have a gut feeling that is going to happen on Sunday. And
Bit of
that
a
is going
cause
to
and
get
effect here.
that's going to get tension to the main event for Dragunov and Trick Williams. And then when we get to that main event for the NXT Championship, Dragunov wins, but Carmelo Hayes costs Trick Williams the NXT Championship on what happened at NXT Great American Bash when it's the first outing between Dragunov and Carmelo Hayes, where Carmelo, when Trick hold the NXT Championship up in Ilya Dragunov's face, and then Dragunov was so close on winning, but Mello, he shoot and he don't miss at all. He retained the NXT Championship. I do see it being like that, but this time around, Carmelo cost Trick. They're going to get even. And I think at the end of the night, Carmelo Hayes is turning heel. I think he's going to turn heel on Sunday to say, I was the one that attacked you from behind. I was the one that did it. And with going into WrestleMania weekend, I know I've been booking about Trick versus Mello at Stand and Deliver.
This gentleman verbatim.
I have a gut feeling we are going to see a triple threat match at NXT Stand and Deliver with Ilya Dragunov, Carmelo Hayes, and Trick Williams in a triple threat at NXT Stand and Deliver, because all three of these are kind of been in a feud together, and it would be fitting to have the triple threat at Stand and Deliver as the main event. And I'm going to tell you this, it will be a nice send-off to Carmelo Hayes going to the main roster. I don't know what they're going to do with Ilya. If they're going to have Ilya go to the main roster if they're going to have the WWE draft this year. But if so, I think Trick Williams is going to be the new NXT champion come Stand and Deliver. I feel at the end of Stand and Deliver, WrestleMania Saturday, Trick Williams beats Carmelo and Ilya in a triple threat match to become the new NXT championship.
Well, I guess it really comes down in context. Do we believe that Trick Williams can become the NXT champion? I think, because that's really what this really surrounds. Carmelo Hayes already been there. Ilya is there. And it's one of those things where I do think at least one of those two men, JJ, can be called up literally as soon as WrestleMania concludes. We've seen it verbatim before, but I don't think
if not sooner.
Yeah, but I don't think a triple threat necessarily settles it. I think it adds more confusion to it, because why both men clearly would have the NXT Championship on their mind, I think the fallout for Vengeance Day should be more Trick versus Carmelo to see truly who's better. It's one of those things where it's like, the partner of the partner. It's like, who shines brighter? We see it how many times over, how many fallouts. And yeah, eventually come out together. But I think right now we need to see these two go their own paths. And until they can settle amongst themselves, I don't think they can. There's a reason why they decided to come together, so it seems, for the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic. But I do believe that Trick has all the potential to be NXT champion. I just don't think it could happen right now as long as Carmelo Hayes is in the picture. And by the picture, I mean he's still part of NXT. So I understand where you're going with Carmelo Hayes with having the title and inadvertently costing Trick. I guess that would be a nice callback, but I honestly want to see Trick stay on his own, literally, and see if he could do it on his own. And then you do the typical Triple H logo. We're about to leave. Pull the trigger. And that's when we see the next saga of Trick Mello again come into play. How many times have you seen that before? Do you not remember what happened with Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano at NXT TakeOver Chicago after their last chance for the Tag Team Championships against AOP in that ladder match? They looked at the audience, and before you knew it, Tommaso Ciampa went psycho. The rest is history, and he became one of the best heels ever in NXT history and NXT champion. Goldie forever. So it's one of those things for me that I could see Mello inadvertently costing Trick, but I kind of don't want to see that since it's been done. It's like if, turnabout's fair play. It's almost like neutral. It's like, I don't think I want to see that. But I do think Ida is retaining because I think the Czar's reign has just begun, and it's far more worth acknowledging. And I think there's a lot more challengers for him too, including maybe Joe Coffey, just saying I want to see that match. But let's see what Walter has to say here. Logically speaking, it would be smart for Carmelo to let Trick win the title, then attack him to start the feud because Trick would have to give Carmelo the title shot, but wrestling and logic don't fit. Well, that's true. JJ, do you have anything further to add regarding the outlook right now of Trick Mello game or this championship match and the mentalities of either men?
The bottom line is that Trick Williams is a star. Trick Williams is a future champion. Trick Williams deserves to win that title on a grander stage. While you guys were talking, I Googled Trick Williams, discovered that he actually played in a Philadelphia Eagles mini camp in 2018 before coming to NXT in the Performance Center.
Oh, shit.
Where's Stand and Deliver going to be?
Oh, that would be
in Philadelphia.
Yep.
So I'm just saying.
Well, I mean, hey, Carmelo Hayes came out balling in the Lakers colors in California, so he wasn't even from there. But Trick Williams literally got roots in freaking Philly.
Yeah, okay. and that Stand and Deliver was in the home of the Lakers.
Yeah.
So I'm. It makes sense to me to put the title on him at Stand and Deliver, but you've got to lose it here. You've got to have that feud with Mello, and then you've got to get back to that big stage.
Maybe the triple threat will come more to fruition. I've seen WrestleMania 30, so I mean, weirder things have happened, and maybe in context this makes sense. And he actually
20, WrestleMania 30.
Yeah, who's counting, right?
Possibly WrestleMania 40. Who knows? But
Yeah, but who knows? I still don't know if I want that personally. All right, let's see here. Emmanuel going back to the women's match here. And thank you, Emmanuel, again, for your support here at Casting Steelers. Remember today, folks. Do you think Tatum will distract Lyra for the championship? And yeah, that's right. I saw on my Facebook. Happy birthday, Emmanuel. Hope you had a wonderful birthday. Appreciate you always.
Yes, thank you for all the support. Happy birthday, brother.
JJ, you want to add
happy birthday, Emmanuel.
There we go.
I do think Tatum will distract Lyra. Well, no, I think Tatum will distract Roxy. Or help. That way Lyra can get the victory. Because we're all calling Lyra to win.
Yes, but we've also
I think Tatum will play into the finish.
Yeah.
But I think she's either going to help Lyra straight out win, or she's going to attack Roxy, getting Lyra disqualified. So she still keeps the belt,
Again,
either way, she's still walking out with that title. So
yeah, and at the end of the day, the leads come down to who is declared the champion after the match that we officially predict. Unless there's a restart, that decision stands. Period. So. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at some comments here real quick. Mel will cost Trick the title with interference. Still not my NXT, but it's getting better. I don't know what I'm doing. LOL. Hey, at least you're trying. Go to the giant up. Can't wait. Get ready for that Metal heel turn. Carmelo is going to cost Trick in the world title match. So there's some similar mindsets and some other comments here I see. So again, folks, get your predictions in. The NXT League kicks off officially. You see the form. It'll also be in the comments down below. It'll also be on the Community Time, my YouTube channel. It'll also be on my Twitter. You know how to join if you're simply predicting, and follow hashtag simply predicting for all future league updates as well on the Twix. But that being said, gentlemen, good stuff tonight. Again, folks, where do you stand? Do you believe we're being rolled or have been in Chase U, which I still believe does not freaking. Nope, not doing that. At least not for free. Not doing that. Not doing that tonight. But I'm just going to say what I said again. I'm just going to leave it at that. I would sooner stand in pajamas and do the Macarena than put any investment in Chase University.
So
Anyway.
if you guys would like to see Noah do the Macarena in his pajamas, that'll be a $50 super chat on open mic night tomorrow.
Damn it!
Oh, I would love to see him do the Macarena.
You shut up! No one's seeing that. All right.
Did you hear that, Emmanuel? Let Arlene know.
I know where your Instagram is, and don't you do it? Don't you do it? No one needs to see. No one cares about the Macarena. No one cares about Chase University. Damn it! Anyway.
Hey, clearly somebody does.
Well,
you can't say nobody.
Okay. Very few people care about Chase University, and probably more care about the Macarena than that. For the love of God. Anyway, that's all we got for now, folks. Before I go into another rant for free, thank you for tuning in to Super Ditty. Before we conclude it, damn it, Walter, shut up! They don't know anything. They don't watch these. Anyway, before we conclude and be able to find out do. Again, good luck, guys, in NXT. Stay tuned for me and JJ's coverage on Sunday. That, again, will be Sunday night, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's their kickoff and our kickoff as well. And, of course, the actual show will start on the 3 o'clock, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 5 p.m. Pacific. That is Sunday, February 4th. Before we conclude, Chris, always a pleasure. Good luck to you in the kickoff of NXT League along with the other horsemen. Let's see how well you do this year or if your brother wins it again. Go ahead and plug your stuff, man, and then you could go ahead and dismiss yourself because I know you're waiting to watch SmackDown.
Oh, I'm watching SmackDown when I'm doing this, but I'm not.
I know you're Mr. Multitask.
Hey, that'll be my nickname, Mr. Multitask. So,
all right, fair enough. And Emmanuel, you can go ahead and say your thoughts about that if you want to. But yes, that was the first match we talked about. Anyway, go ahead, Chris.
I thank you for allowing me to be on tonight. I had a good time being on the Simply Predicting panel for NXT Vengeance Day. Where you guys can find me at is on my X account, CRods24. My Insta is CMROTZ_6472. My Facebook is Christopher Ross. Find me on those social media accounts. I'll be happy to hit you guys up and we could chat about anything: wrestling, sports, TV shows, movies, gaming, whatever. I'm a positive person and I'm down on making friends. So if you want to hit me up and we'll chat about anything. We are on the road to WrestleMania.
I gotta get a logo going here at some point.
So I'm pumped for this road to WrestleMania. This is the month of February. We got one event down. We got two more events in the month of February, and we got No Surrender for TNA. And we also got the Elimination Chamber.
God help me.
That is going to be taking place in another couple of weeks because they're back to back.
Yeah.
So if you want to be on the Simply Predicting panel for TNA No Surrender and the Elimination Chamber, hit Noah, hit JJ, hit myself up, and we'll be happy to have you along the ride on this road to WrestleMania. And whoever goes down on this road to WrestleMania is going down as one of the biggest roads to WrestleMania in history. I'm going to head out to watch the remainder of Friday Night SmackDown on Fox and then get up for work tomorrow. And then on Sunday, I am off on Sunday. So I'll be ready for NXT Vengeance Day on Sunday. So I hope you guys all enjoy the show on Sunday. I'm happy to be here. And always say yeah to no DQ. NXT.com. Enjoy your weekend, everybody.
Thank you very much, Chris. Appreciate you. We'll see you down the line for further city predictions to come. Enjoy your night. God bless you and your family. JJ, you and I go back at it again this weekend. It's your NXT, but it's an NXT I certainly can tolerate. That's far better than what it used to be. But let's go ahead and get people up to date where they can connect with you and what you offer too. Go ahead, bro.
Well, you can find me on Instagram, the Renegade JJ Williams, on Twitter at ROWJJ Williams, YouTube Casa D18 Studios. Thank you to everyone that's following me and watching along. You can check out my we can do that one. You can subscribe to the members only section of the Casa D18 Studios channel. It is only $5 a month and features all kinds of random content that myself and Noah do, traditionally match calls. Not really sure which ones are going to be going up here soon, but we'll figure something out.
Of course.
You can catch me daily on For the Love of Wrestling, where I review the week in professional wrestling.
Damn it.
Mondays are the weekend shows, SmackDown, Rampage, and Collision. Tuesdays are Raw. Wednesday is NXT. Thursday is Dynamite. Fridays is Impact. I even did Explosion this week on Wednesday along with NXT.
Wow.
I might be doing that going forward since it's only a 40-minute show. It's not like it's a whole lot,
Yeah.
2 matches traditionally. We'll see what happens there, at least until No Surrender. If they keep me past that, then so be it. Like they pointed out, man, simply predicting we've got a lot of stuff coming up. Hell of a road to WrestleMania. So many watch alongs, including just added next week's AEW Dynamite. We'll be calling because of the fact that it very well could be Sting's last championship victory as he teams with Darby Allin to take on Big Bill and Ricky Starks for the AEW Tag Team Championship. Should be a good one.
Yes, and as the road to WrestleMania continues, our pathway to revolution continues to shape out, where we may usher in a new era of the Virtuosa as she takes on timeless Toni Storm. If you all did not watch what happened in 2020, you might be in for a very colorful surprise at the expense of 2 arms. But anyway, appreciate you, JJ. And again, appreciate all of you for tuning in here. He's also got a big announcement. Gonna make an announcement about his announcement. God bless it, man. Do it on. You need to do it on Twitter. You need to do it on YouTube. You need to.
For real. It's like at this point, TK, just release a tweet. It's not that serious where you got to take up TV time that could be going to your women's division. Instead of throwing them in the 6:25, 9:25 time slot every week, maybe actually give them a little something more to do. Or, you can use the TV time to give Jeff Hardy a match. Let him evolve this heel persona that he seems to be developing.
Yeah, I've noticed lately.
Or you could give the time to the Bang Bang Scissor Gang, probably the best thing you've got going right now. Or timeless Toni Storm. If you decide not to throw her shit to commercial just because she's a silent movie actress.
But to be fair, she does that herself. She literally goes to restaurant quality, picture in picture. That's literally her thing now. Are you kidding me?
I know.
Anyway.
Just give me timeless Tony versus dimeless Dana.
Damn. You're just waiting to see what is all about, and so am I for that matter. And again, TNA Knockouts still a leader. AEW got the potential. WWE, you're certainly trying. NXT seems to be thriving. Stardom, international, worldwide leader. But that's just the outscope of women's wrestling. Respect women professional wrestling, damn it. And I don't digress ever again. Anyway.
Where can people find you, Noah?
Yeah, I guess if people want to find me, here's what you can do, folks. Thank you for tuning in, by the way. Follow me on the Twitter and on YouTube. And then Foster1916 for all things wrestling. Shout out, of course, the entire W family on the Twitter and our social media platforms. If you haven't already, you can check out our podcast, the HW View Impromptu. Fun little panel. Sometimes just me and the king Other friends sometimes get involved too. We just talk about all the wrestling, all things wrestling, all topics wrestling. At any impromptu time, we'll be doing that once a month. Go check out the last episode where me and the King were talking about 2024, often going in all things wrestling, everything from free agents, including the Rainmaker, Kazuchika Okada, as well as the upcoming Netflix deal, and also gave our preview on the Royal Rumble. Me and the King will be back some point this month. Hopefully ours will join in too. HW View episode 50. Who knows what it'll be called? But again, as far as leagues go, and as far as me, follow me if you choose, primarily on the Twitter. That's where you'll keep up with all the league forums, all the league leaderboards in full, all the league picks in full, to give your own simple assessment, to keep up with the top winners in each show and in each league. Follow my simple YouTube channel, follow the community tab. Let your voice be known. This channel is designed, it is for wrestling for all you fine, simple folk. And again, simply predicting, as JJ alluded to, we are not leaving anytime soon. And I'm keeping track of each brand as we got No Surrender for TNA, Elimination Chamber for WWE, NXT so far, nothing beforehand, Stand and Deliver, and of course AEW Revolution, the first AEW pay-per-view of 2024. Just follow the hashtags and predicting on the Twitter to keep up with further videos and forums as well. Times right now are slotted as such and are subject to change, especially with the fact that I got No Surrender Elimination Chamber back-to-back days. Damn it. So we will see what happens there. This is the first time this year I have to deal with that situation. And again, follow my friends. Follow my friend Mary Jane, her continued wrestling journey. Check out her latest work on Spinebuster TV, where Jay continues to prove Jay's worth more than gold. Follow her on the social media. Cheers to you, my friend across the pond. Hope to talk to you again soon. Again, follow Datilla, our newest affiliate, where her and JJ have been working together with NXT and TNA weekly recaps. When it's wrestling time, all the time, at Ranges of Wrestling. As, of course, she recaps these shows on a regular basis. But lately, with JJ has been doing NXT and TNA. We'll see if that keeps up. As Jay alluded to earlier, stay tuned for Open Mic Night tomorrow night, your local weekly Saturday night shenanigans, regular time, 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, hosted by the Renegade himself, JJ Williams. That is Open Mic Night. And of course, we do all these things because of all of you. You make this possible. So on behalf of the entire Jeffrey Schneebert multiverse of media, we thank you. And that's all I got to say, promote and endorse for now on what literally is 8 days before my 32nd birthday on this planet. That's something to behold to. But as always, I like to conclude, there are no winners, there are no losers, there are no betters. There are just fans and opinions for this passion we all share. And this passion, for those that don't know, for I am but a simple man, but continually always talk about it in the highest degree that someone could probably make a cartoon about it, from Mr. Crocker, Fairly Odd Parents, is professional wrestling, damn it! And again, folks, support one another, respect each other, protect your mentality too, treasure your families, and just enjoy life and enjoy professional wrestling. It is truly as simple as that. But with that being said, thank you so much once again for tuning in. Please like, subscribe, comment, tell a friend. Hit the bell so the video goes live or on demand on either of our YouTube channels. Hit the subscribe button. Help us keep growing our user communities. I assure you, our passion, our content, our creativity is not leaving anytime soon, and the mission's been declared. I'm going to try and see what happens this year. But again, I'm willing to do the work, but you have to do your part too. So keep following along for the ride, and you never know what else I might do impromptu, but I expect these to continue to go live forward. The simple takes might come back. I might do weekly reviews called Simple Input, or, simply put. And I might even do something as simple as a list of 7 for certain things. I don't know. And I might collaborate with other friends too. I hope to do more with Jerry, with Simple in general. I know Walter and I want to do something called Simply Reliable. There's so much you could do with the wrestling industry, and I want to do that fun, but it all comes down to time, resources, mentality, and motivation. And you all the motivation. If you want it, I'll see what I can do. But until next time, I think I will bid you all a fine adieu, as I'm sure whether you're West or East Coast, you want to enjoy SmackDown, you want to enjoy your Friday night, you want to enjoy time with the family, maybe you want to enjoy Rampage, maybe you just want to go to sleep, maybe you want to play Suicide Squad, kill the Justice League. So I think I'll leave you for now to simple afterthoughts. Emmanuel suggesting, what is that? Like John Oliver roasting freaking wrestling? What the hell is that going to be? Give me some more ideas, Emmanuel. I dare you. But we'll talk more later. And Arlene doesn't need to know anything that JJ said earlier. So we'll do
what? Arlene doesn't need to know that for $50 tomorrow night you'll do the Macarena in your pajamas?
No, nothing of the sort. You didn't say that. There's nothing of the sort. Nothing of the sort's going to happen. Anyway, thank you all for tuning in once again to another Just Predicting as we kick off NXT League for 2024 too. And I bid you all now a fine adieu. So until Sunday night for our Call of Vengeance Day, come be a part of the kickoff show and the kickoff talk here, 7 p.m. Standard Time, Sunday night. Enjoy your Saturday, and we'll see you for open mic night. And until then, as always, make a positive impact in life and have a good night. This has been NXT, simply predicting where vengeance is to be sought, but will it be found? We'll find out soon enough. Have a good night, folks.